So,
Hi.
Call this meeting to order.
Welcome, everyone. Happy January 29th, 2026. I don't know how it's almost February, but here we are. I don't know how we're a month in 2026. Here we are. Sarah Rose, kick us off.
So EQIP regenerative pilot program fully underway. There is a lot being disseminated about it. We had a mandated national call that we had to attend across the nation. Very interesting. We'll figure stuff out as we go. I did discuss with Lauren Gibson, the local lead for fiscal year 2027, and she is going to be taking on a larger role in assisting with helping to put these plans together. We already discussed Franklin a little bit. I did ask her to reach out to Lamoille and Grand Isle folks to check in. Part of that is I have to shift some of my workload because I'm dealing with so many farmstead applications. And just a quick update on that. Currently, we have 30 farmstead applications on the books. If I do a very crude estimate, that is over $12 million.
That's very hopeful.
I did read through, that's why
That's very helpful.
Yeah. And those are crude numbers, but I think it's pretty accurate. And that's everything for updates.
Somewhat related. I apologize that I said this at like 9 o'clock last night, but did send out a proposal to discuss kind of our plan for. Sorry, I've been in a lot of meetings today already, and my brain is still firing back up to actually say words and not just listen. The Franklin County NRCD locally led proposal for fiscal year 2027 to direct NRCS funds towards priority projects. I did send out a draft last night, a very small edits from last year's proposal, basically continuing to prioritize farmstead and infrastructure projects based on what we've heard from our producers, NRCS, in the local working group meeting that I think both were at, and also through my involvement on the CAFO stakeholder working group that A&R is leading, and some potential changes to the expectations around farmsteads and potentially larger pits coming probably pretty soon. So I think we can certainly have a discussion about that now and or more later if folks have additional thoughts. We've got like, for our internal deadline, we've got 3 weeks before Arena and I wanted to submit something, which is sooner than the actual NRCS deadline. So we do still have some time to make tweaks if folks have comments, questions on that.
we will need board minutes at some point to confirm whatever we decide.
We need them today.
Okay, then today.
We need at least minutes that say that you've all been informed of what our plan is and you're supportive, or that you would like to discuss if you're not supportive. Thank you for that reminder. So any thoughts on another farmstead pool for Franklin County Farms for next year? Yes, Linda.
Can I just ask why the numbers are up and why that surprises us? I guess I still, even after a couple of years, don't understand the big picture on that.
So over the years that I've worked with NRCS, there's always been sort of a cycle of an up and down of farmstead applications. And we are on an uptick of farmstead applications. What I'm hearing and seeing is a lot of farmers are now deciding to start raising their young stock again. And so that means additional animals, additional animal units on the farm, more manure to manage, additional waste storage facility capacities, animal health and well-being, all of it. But that is sort of the trend I've seen over the last sort of 3-ish years, is just the dairy farmers are switching back to raising young stock. And it's exploding, in my opinion. I'm amazed at how many people are planning to build additional structures and bring on additional young stock for their operations.
Yeah, I think it's critical for us to understand that exact picture that you just described. Because if it was just left up to me and what I know, I might think it's a whole bunch of people with 6 acres applying to become homestead sort of situations that know about you and the advantages of your help and all that. So, I mean, we just have to know who our audience is by and large.
And these are all, they're from the very small farms that just have really a few cows and a diversified operation of some other animals, to the LFOs. I've seen applications for every single type of farm operation, from the small farm to certified small farm to medium to large.
Okay.
And
Can I ask a question? Why do we think that people are now wanting more young stock? Is there a reason for that?
The cost. They were 2 years ago in Molly, a heifer replacement, a freshening heifer, go into the herd was maybe $2,000. Now they're $3,000.
Okay, so they can make more money.
They can kind of backwards, just save more money by raising your own, because you wouldn't put your own
Right,
labor.
you're not
Oh.
gonna buy, you're not selling your milking animals.
Oh, okay.
And then you
You
keep your
raise-
genetics also and raise your own,
Okay.
which is generally better, because you know your genetics is very good. And it's because it's followed the price of beef too.
I'll also add too that the rules around how much dirty water farms are required to capture in their pits and storage facilities has changed in the last couple of years and is probably continuing to increase. So the pits themselves need to hold more water that is dirty. So in some ways, that's
So we're gonna need larger pits,
You know,
more capacity.
yes.
And more approvals from the state.
It's not necessarily pits, but any type of waste storage facility. Bedded packs seem to be the sort of direction most folks are wanting to go in as far as housing their young stuff. So that's a
Yes,
solid.
One more question. Does it seem
Yep.
like they are caring more, like, about their environmental impact? Like, is it part of that too?
Well, I'm gonna say they've always cared. And they continue to care. I think everybody knows that to be a farmer, it takes a certain type of mentality. And these folks have it in them to continue to provide for everybody.
Great. I just wondered if there was some new thing in the zeitgeist that we need to be aware of.
I think the writing on the wall of more enforcement
There's where I was going.
is a piece of this as well.
Okay.
Whether or not the rules are actually changing
Yeah.
is up for debate, but I do think that enforcement might be becoming more consistent.
It
Got
is, since Agency of Ag and A&R have sort of ramped up and actually have the people to now enforce and
Yeah.
regulate.
That's definitely a piece of it.
Got it.
And so Molly, we're just talking about the proposal for, okay.
You have an- Did Vicky have a question? I saw that she came off mute, but.
Did you have something to say, Vicky?
No.
You don't need approval.
You know exactly what we need to submit. Is it just that the meeting minutes reflect that we talked about this and does it need to say that there's support for this?
I think it's just the discussion that they're informed. That's the way
Yeah.
I understood it.
We'll go with that then. And again, happy to have a more conversation one-on-one about this with anybody. Arena and I and others are also building out a ridiculous spreadsheet, trying to document all of the actions we want to take in Franklin County, for all land uses and all resource concerns, that we'll continue to structure, but we'll share that once it's built out a little bit more, and would love people's feedback on developed lands, farmsteads, riparian areas, all the good stuff.
I guess just to add a little bit more, while we don't have a huge backlog for grazing applications, there do seem to be grazing applications that take 2+ years. So they're, in a sense, a backlog because they've been on the books for so long, but they don't rank high enough to receive funding. So they keep getting deferred. Only have about half a dozen or so, but
In Franklin County.
in Franklin County, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's different than farmstead, but it's still engineered practices likely with a grazing infrastructure system. Just something to consider.
Can you and I talk about that, and if the state resources would also be useful there?
Then is the direct inverse,
Infrastructure?
no,
Inverse?
inverse relationship between the cost of milk and the amount of milk that goes out there and the cost of the animals. Price of milk goes down. Any farm will try to increase their production to cover their costs. So now you got more milk in the market. The amount of heifers that are out there is only a set amount right now, and it's diminished because of the droughts they had a few years ago. Now even the beef operations are competing for Holstein calves. So, and it's made a smaller percentage of animals out there to buy, so the cost is going up there too.
Alrighty. Richard,
Lauren?
yes, Vicky, go ahead.
I'm having connectivity issues today. But while you guys can hear me, how much is the state
We
matching
agree.
the farmstead applications?
Can you say that again?
How much is the state providing toward farmstead applications? What's the state share?
The EQIP BMP assist potential could go up to 200K.
Okay. And we're seeing farms of all.
We're seeing farms what?
She dropped off
Oh.
entirely.
Oh.
She sometimes texts me. So I turn myself on.
What's that?
You back, Vicky?
Everything went blank for us for just a second. Then I'm back.
She's working today.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And no,
Oh, it's because the microwave is on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dorothy, you gotta turn the microwave off. You gotta turn the microwave off.
Interesting. I thought it was me.
I've never heard of that before. We learned it like last week. Sorry, Linda, can you try talking again?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Sorry.
Vicky and I just went black for a minute.
It's
Turn the microwave
somebody
around.
was using the microwave and apparently it cuts out our Wi-Fi. Vicky, we might be able to hear you now.
I don't have anything yet. I'm just frustrated with my own Wi-Fi because I think it's part of the problem.
Okay. Sorry.
I had to
Happy
go
hop
tell
on
my
a call.
husband to get off his meeting.
Wonderful.
Yeah, competing meetings today.
Vicky, since we know we can hear you right now, do you want to give your update if you have any for VACD, and then Richard will go to you?
Sure. We had a VACD executive committee meeting, and There is a full board meeting on the 10th, I believe. Everybody should have Lauren, are you aware of that date?
I'm sure it's on my calendar and I'll make sure everyone has the invite.
Okay, yeah, just make sure everybody's invited. I'm the rep, so I'll try to be there. Richard, I'd love for you to be. She has such great insight. And yeah, not much to report on other than they are planning to hire an HR/finance person to help fill in some gaps.
That's fantastic. And brand new news to me. Great. Richard.
Yeah, I had a finance committee meeting. I don't remember which day, but anyway, and it's regular business. It's Ag CWIP grant funding request right now is at, might as well say 5.5 million. That's what they're going into legislature asking. And this is not us, but Rutland County, we approved a Coal River RCP review and project development program. And it was a large amount, so we had to review it, 43,000. And the finance board is still in progress of switching from M&T Bank to Union Bank, which will give us more opportunities, less cost, and better interest rates on the monies we leave sitting in the bank. We're going from zip to 2%.
Wow.
Well, sometimes they were giving us 1%, but that 2% on the amount of monies that they have sitting in the bank at times is going to make us $15,000 in a year. So, plus they were charging us for their business. You got $2 million going through their bank in less than a year, and $1 million is sitting there sometimes, and you're charging us. Well, for
Yeah.
and they're a Vermont bank, I believe. I don't know Union that well, but one of the people that's on the board, well, it's not on the board. I don't know her exact position. It would be Lena.
She's staff.
She had worked with Union Bank when she was a town clerk in Walden. So there's a better, easier conversations. You can talk to people. You click in. So overall, it's a better direction to go. And I've been kind of, for 2 years now, pointing them, come on, you don't put this much money in a bank and they turn around and charge you for checks. We make that in the blink of a millisecond. So anyway, it looks like we're in the process. It's gonna be better in the long run and generate more income from the money that sits aside. Other than that, not much other finance committee meeting information.
Alrighty. Then next, we've got a presentation from Mel. Probably. I'm sure thinking about it. There we go. Linda, can you see that all right? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thanks. Take it away, Mel.
Okay, hi everyone. I know the agenda is very full today, so I'll try and be brief. I'm here to talk about myself. My name is Mel Offerdew. My last name is French. I recently had the new title of Natural Resources Program. Oh, I should say Programs Manager.
Should.
My bad.
But it says program there, so you were correct.
Okay. Hello. It's correct there.
There you go.
So I'm originally from upstate New York, Queensbury, which is right next to Lake George, if you've ever been there. I have a master's in environmental sciences and policy from Johns Hopkins University. And I actually started at the district pretty much exactly 3 years ago. I started as a project technician after I was an AmeriCorps member in the ECO program. And that's me planting trees. So what do I work on? Most of what I do is clean water projects. So that's working with ANR. on things like floodplain restorations, wetland restorations, and lakeshore restorations. So it's a lot of work with landowners, regulators, and engineers. Tons of fun. And then with my new position, I've also been working more on natural resources team content management. So that's helping folks on our team by reviewing grant applications, reviewing their reporting, reviewing contracts and other materials. I also lead meetings, create training materials, and we just welcomed a new AmeriCorps member named Sadie, and I am her supervisor. So I'm supervising someone for the first time.
Nice.
And I'm not.
Sadie
Priest. She previously worked at the Missisquoi National Wildlife Refuge, so she knows the area very well.
I'm texting Vicky for the record.
Another thing I work on is expanding our wildlife ecology programs. So we're doing things with landowners like wildlife habitat assessments. And we're also doing some stream biomonitoring, which is really exciting. And then I also lead the district's partner. You okay?
It was Vicky.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That was okay.
It was a little aggressive, I agree.
I lead the district's partnership with the Abenaki Nation of Missisquoi, and we have a grant from the Lake Champlain Basin program to do some participatory outreach work in partnership with the tribal council.
Has that been going on for a bit? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started in like exactly a year ago, pretty much. And it's gonna last for another 2 years. And hopefully beyond, but we have funding for 2 years. So what am I working on this week? I'm leading meetings with natural resources staff on topics like project development, grant applications. I'm reviewing people's grant reports and applications for other staff. I've also been coordinating the macroinvertebrate sample processing. So I don't know if you've heard, but Lauren took out a dam last year. And so that's Trout Brook Dam Reservoir, I'm sure you all know. And part of that is that they asked us to do some biomonitoring upstream and downstream. And in my position as an AmeriCorps, I actually did stream biomonitoring with macroinvertebrates. So that's like taking a kick net and sampling the insects in the stream. So yeah, we're gonna, we sampled that in this past July.
You did some before the dam was removed?
Yes. Before the dam was removed, and those are the samples we're working on now. They're actually in vials right behind you if you want to see them. Yeah.
Can I pass one around?
Yeah, go ahead. And so what we're doing is we processed all the samples and we're almost done and about to send them to some taxonomists, but I need to sort them into taxonomic group to make things easier. So yeah, that's been a great part of this job. I've really enjoyed it.
How many years of monitoring after the dam removal?
At least one.
At least one.
We're definitely doing it this year. And we do have funds, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, to do it another year. We're trying to see how far out we can extend that to get like a real picture
Yeah, okay.
later on.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Probably 2028. We'll go back again.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've been compiling project ideas that we've gotten from those events with the Abenaki Nation of Missisquoi. So lots of cool ideas. Something else I do, clean water project management. I have a lot of, well, I have the same engineers sending me a lot of design plans and deliverables. I write grant applications and I do things like hire archaeologists, because one little known part of clean water projects is anytime there's ground disturbance. So if you're like lowering a floodplain, you need to work with an archaeologist to make sure there's no cultural resources that you're disturbing. So yeah.
Like a private consultant archaeologist.
Exactly, yeah.
We don't get to use Jacob. We gotta pay for him.
Oh.
Thousands of dollars every time.
Yeah.
How much?
Thousands.
Speaking of, for this big project, which is expected to have 4.5 acres of ground disturbance, we had some people bidding up to 50,000 for cultural resources. So we'll see. But yeah, so this is a project on Black Falls Brook in Montgomery. It's at the confluence of Black Falls Brook and Trout River, so a very active, dynamic space. This project originated from Lauren's Montgomery flood study project, where she spoke with the community, and SLR went and did a survey of the Trout River and found like ideal project spots. We're currently in the final design phase, so that means we have an idea of what we're doing and we're solidifying it, and then talking with regulators, and doing cultural resources investigations for tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, so I think this project is interesting because it's pretty complex, it's pretty huge. It's definitely archaeologically sensitive, so that's going to be complex. And then we also have to coordinate with VTrans, which I've never done before, but Lauren and I are going to work on it
I
together.
haven't done it either, so we're gonna have fun.
Because the bridge is right next to the project area, and we just want to make sure that we're not impacting infrastructure. This is me with a kick net at Trout Brook. Yeah, our goal, I already talked about it a little bit, but collecting biological data pre and post dam removal, to assess the dam removal's impacts on aquatic wildlife. So we had 4 sites. 2 of those were upstream and 2 of those were downstream. And what was also really fun is when I was in AmeriCorps, I was with DEC and their biomonitoring team. So I got those folks to come out and do some electrofishing with us. I don't know if folks know what electrofishing is.
You probably explain it anyway.
Okay.
It's better than dynamite.
You have a backpack with a big battery on it and a wand that you stick in the water and you electrify the fish. Yeah. It doesn't kill them. It's not supposed to. It can. It stuns them. And so they float to the top and you catch them and you can ID them. So you know the fish community that's there. And the idea is that if we remove this dam, hopefully there's going to be some bigger trout moving upstream. And the best part was that 6 of our staff got to come out with me and do this really fun field day.
It was fully funded.
And then I also wanted to mention our participatory outreach with the Abenaki Nation of Missisquoi, and Arena is the one who's mainly working on that with me. And it's just a project that is really allowing us to build a partnership between us and the Abenaki Nation of Missisquoi, and understand tribal council and the community members' conservation priorities. And so last year we held 6 workshops. This year we're planning to hold 4. And some of the projects we've identified have been black ash tree stewardship, and education for Abenaki youth, sustainable foraging workshops and education, and also increasing public waterfront access in Swanton. And this is just a flyer from the Heritage Celebration that happened in May, which we tabled at to gather information.
You just mentioned ash, and I just took out an ash on my lawn because of emerald ash borer.
Was it infected?
Yeah, the bark was peeling. I knew this summer it only had maybe 10% of the leaves, and the bark started peeling, and you see all the trails. And
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
so she's down.
Yeah.
She's out, but
I'm sorry.
it's not in the woods, right along the road. And the other one I have, I don't know what, I went in to see what it was. I didn't realize it was like a dozen species of ash. And I'm not that well versed to know which one that is, but I think it's a brown ash, like for basket weaving, but it starts to discolor. The bark starts to turn into a light tan, this color, and you know it's infected. Mrs. Schwinger has 5 trees, Sarah. They all got it.
All got it.
You know, they're only 100 feet from the road, if that.
Yeah, we had an idea to do a project with the tribe to identify any trees that are ash trees that are still healthy or lingering, which means that they are somewhat resistant to emerald ash borer, and then collect the seeds.
There will be some. It's like the elms. There are some out there that were resistant to the problem. But you could tell in the summer by the leaf, how much weird percentage of leaves are going. As soon as you start diminishing, you got it. It's in there. But anyway, you want to interrupt, but
no, that's
it was
okay.
on the same
It's a fascinating topic.
wavelength.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
How far away from the dam were the sample points?
Not too far.
Like hundreds of feet?
Yeah.
I probably have a dumb question.
No
So,
dumb question.
no, good. Why is trout so important? Why do we concentrate on that?
They are a federally listed species. The brook trout are federally listed, so there is,
As endangered.
So they're
I'm not-
endangered.
I'm not sure if they're rare, threatened, or endangered, which box they fit in, but they're an RTE species. And so there's federal funding for those particular species.
Are they also like an indicator species? Like if they're there, it's indicative
Well,
of.
they've been diminishing for quite a few years. And the trout that people catch a lot of times are some that were raised and thrown
I was
in.
gonna say, a lot of them get supported to the rivers.
Multiple.
Yeah. I
Do
don't,
they, is
There,
there some ecology,
Yes.
something they do to the environment that really is helpful?
so I think they're a keystone species is what it's called. So because they're a top predator in Vermont rivers, they're super important for the food web. Kind of like how mammalian predators are very important.
So they eat other fish that perhaps aren't as helpful.
Well, they're I think just like indicative of overall health.
If you have trout, you have the food chain leading up to
Yes.
trout.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so if your water body can support a trout, then you
It
have
can everything else.
likely have a healthy ecosystem.
Okay.
And they tend to prefer cold water, highly oxygenated. So it's a sign of good water quality. Whereas other species like brown trout and rainbow trout, first of all, are not necessarily native, but they also can tolerate warmer water. So that's why there's a focus on brook trout.
Thanks.
I don't know anything about the animals. That's why we have staff who enjoy things.
There you go.
I have a question for you. Sure. Do you enjoy your job and where do you see yourself going from here?
That was so cute.
I do enjoy my job. I really enjoy it. I think Lauren's a great supervisor. She's provided.
Big raise coming.
I don't know about big.
She's provided a lot of flexibility and allowed me to pursue different things like this biomonitoring. She's been very supportive of, and the wildlife habitat assessments she's been very supportive of, and our work with the Abenaki. So I think she's allowed me to pursue what I'm passionate about, and that's been really great. And I've gotten a lot of great experience.
Nice.
Where do I see myself? I don't know.
Well, I could say as a chairman that I appreciate how you've evolved in the last few years.
Thanks, Richard.
And you've impressed me.
Thank you.
You didn't at first, but now you have.
You've definitely grown a lot.
Yes.
From the first days in the office when we were more co-located.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really nice to see, and I do attribute some of that to your great leadership.
She's been great. And she still works with farmers too. So she's leading the NR team, but she also has 3 farmers that she works regularly with. Some of our favorites too. So she got dealt a hand, let me tell you, some of our folks.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
So you said something about wildlife ecology. You do some kind of an assessment there. So I'm just curious what that is, what that looks like. Why do you do it?
Yeah, so it's a free, basically a site visit with a landowner where we look all across their parcel for a wildlife tracking sign. So I have a level 3 tracker certification. So that means going out in the winter, I can look at tracks on the landowner's parcel and identify them to a pretty accurate degree. Sometimes it's difficult, but so yeah, we first go through like a desktop review where we look through all mapping indications of wildlife on their property, and we provide a report for them. And then we have the site visit. A lot of times the landowner likes to come out with us. Sometimes they don't, and then we can report back. And we go through all of the track and sign that we find, and I think folks really enjoy it because they like to know what's out on their property.
So why is that important?
Why is that important? We also kind of, by identifying what's on the property, And we also assess the wildlife habitat itself. So like giving recommendations on management practices that the landowner can do to support the wildlife there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
You ever see a wolf track?
No, unfortunately, no.
I have. I got pictures of it too.
Yeah.
It was like, well, it was 10, 12 years
Yes.
ago. Actually, Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He does.
that track was this big, 3 by 4
Wow.
inches. So I knew it wasn't a neighbor's dog. It was a big one.
I've never seen.
Never saw it, but found the tracks.
Hmm.
They traveled over a half mile visiting my place, my ex farm, and 2 of my neighbors. But anyway,
Never seen a catamount track either. So
there are some somewhere, but they're very secretive.
There was a baby one along the highway alive the other day when I was driving.
Baby what?
Catamount.
Oh, catamount.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really cool. I was like, you're lost. Go home.
I got a cat that looks like that, but
No,
it's a cat.
it's a cat.
His name's Tom. Well, he won't come in, he's a boy.
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah,
Very good.
Good job.
thanks to all of you.
And think of us, if anybody ever offers you a better job, it's better here.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay, thank you.
Now
All
the
right,
less fun stuff.
board minute meetings of December 17th, I believe we're going on to.
Yes.
Do I hear an approval?
Am I the only one?
I think so.
There's some online comments. I'll approve the December board
17.
meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, fiscal financial update.
Um, we're looking good. This is the financials from Friday last week, I believe. Yes, Friday last week. At that time, we were owed about $500,000. 200 of that was for one contractor, the guy who's taking out the dam. So none of that. That was in our account for about 4 hours on Monday. We are almost through the changes that we're planning to make to our QuickBooks, which is very exciting. It has been a long journey. Yes.
Are we gonna be sticking to this with the same accountant?
We still have the same accountant. I think that that's a conversation we can continue to have once we understand exactly what we're able to do now in-house versus out of house. I'm now running payroll instead of our accountant because it's just 3 buttons because everything went into QuickBooks as opposed to a couple other systems, and all of our taxes can now be paid directly from QuickBooks. There was an issue last year where it couldn't be, but now apparently it can. So there might not be very much need for an accountant in some ways. Monthly breakdown. Well, I don't think I looked at that yet. Already this year, we've done 1.5 million in income.
Wow.
I'd say at least 500,000 of that was just for the dam. That's cool.
What, in general, because those are pass-through numbers, in general, how much do you think we reap off of numbers like that? 10% of that, 20% of that?
So last year, I think we used about 600 for staff and our expenses, if that's helpful. We aren't necessarily doing a like exact percentage off of contractors, so it's very project specific. It's like the dam removal project, I think we are getting paid about $20,000 on a $1.2 million grant. So small.
But yes, but is that covering necessary expenses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Would we love to be able to make a net profit on that? Yes, but it is covering our expenses. And yeah, so of that 1.5, 850 has been contractual, so has left us pretty immediately already. I think, as you know, Mel was discussing a bigger project in Montgomery too. I think we're gonna have like one pretty big project every year, at least for a while, if not a handful, as we continue to scale up and get a lot of good work done. Get a lot of expensive work done.
As long as you, these projects is something you can do, handle well, and don't overbook yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Overextend yourself, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, so this summer we've got, at this point in time, I'm the only one who's done construction oversight, but Mel and Dorothy both have projects this summer where they're gonna learn how to do construction oversight on some construction projects too. So that'll be really good to have more folks ready to go with that. And like not real, like project management construction oversight of engineers who are doing the actual construction oversight, but you know, you need the project manager there too, and verifying all of that with the contractor at every step of the way.
The reason why I'm looking at you
Yeah,
is
very intently.
because NRCS is offering construction inspection, is supposed to be offering construction inspection training this year.
Great.
So if you have potential interested folks that may, trying to think if I got an agenda or draft agenda for that yet. I don't believe so. I don't know how much would pertain, but it might, won't hurt, be something if, you know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Please, please, please. This number on the net income, I apologize. I literally hit print on this once I had booked the 200,000 for that contractor before I had booked the expense of the 200,000. So this is inflated by 200,000. So we're actually still net around -20, which is fine, as you'll see on the next page. But that timing really messed up just right on Friday. I apologize for that. So there's that. This is really small. Let me make that bigger. All of this to say, I'm projecting at this current time about $80,000 net profit on the year by the time we get to June 30th on an annual basis. Which is about what we were talked about last time too. So it hasn't changed much since the last board meeting. I did also, there's a lot of numbers, so I want to have everything accountable and transparent. I did also book out anticipated cash flow, so not accrual, but actual cash in our bank. And so each column here is a month. And so this is my projection, I believe, for the end of February as how much I expect to be in our bank account. This will become very important momentarily, but in general here, we're north of 280 most of what I can foresee moving forward. This is an estimate based on when I think our funders will actually pay invoices I send them, based on past experience. Sometimes they take a month or two longer. Sometimes they take 6 months longer. So I think that this is showing a strong financial position, and we can talk some more about that momentarily. And then I included the December and January bank statements, and then I sent out the credit card statements also last night. I apologize for the delay on that. We swapped computers and the auto login was on somebody else's, so I had to go into my other account, and it was a whole thing. But all of that is here for those who would like to review it. Moral of the story is, I know we kind of talk every fall about how our bank account's a little bit smaller than lower than we'd like it to be, because the fall just seems to be a bit of a slower payment time. But I think we've recouped most of that, and we're back in a.
When you say fall, you're like September, October?
Through like December.
Is that
I
because
think we
of
just
the
draw down a
federal
lot.
fiscal year? Does that have anything to do with it?
I don't think so.
No. It's just the way it is.
I think we do a lot of things that we say will be done by December, and so then we invoice as soon as they're fully done, and so we recoup a lot of those costs from that.
Gotcha.
And there's also some unfunded work that tends to happen in the fall, like grant applications, grant writing.
That's a good point too. Yep, that was a great point there.
Gotcha.
And then I'll show the credit card statements. But these are automatically fed into our QuickBooks. So these show up in the QuickBooks statements as well.
There's no reward system from this card company?
Our current Chase credit cards have a 1.5% cash back every time we use them. Ren and I both have cards in our names, but they're both under Vicky's account. And so Vicky is technically the account holder.
So,
Which is something we're looking into rectifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those total points available for redemption, that's your cash,
Yes, that's the cash back.
but that doesn't equate to $136,000.
No, I think that might.
It'll move the decimal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are about
I've got the
136.
card too.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. 1,300.
13.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Not nothing.
Not nothing.
We only had the cards for a year.
Well, that's actually 1365.39.
1,000.
Yeah, 1365.39. Good.
Something.
Yeah.
Sure ain't nothing. I
Why
think
don't they put the amount, put turtle?
Let's figure this one.
yeah.
True.
I think we could accept the financials at this time if folks would like to, or continue the conversation. And then there's a bit more financial stuff. At this point, I've done the review.
I'll make a motion to approve financials,
To accept them.
to accept the financials presented.
I could second that.
Those in favor?
I
I
Great.
got that portion.
We can maybe change some stuff around. You all do need to continue the conversation about the COLA adjustment and what you want to do with that. And then it's kind of also my annual review conversation and my wage discussion. And then I do want to talk about RAMP, which Richard was kind of alluded to as maybe a new credit card program. And then the operating reserve policy based on that cash flow analysis. So there's lot of things to discuss financially today, and none of them are fun. Yes, Linda.
Lauren, I have someone, I had to stay home. I'm getting ready to leave on vacation. But I've got the house sitter coming at 4:30. So I'm probably gonna just dash out the minute she comes because I gotta explain to her everything. Just if there are things that you need, do we have a quorum without me?
We do if Vicky can talk.
Okay.
Oop. Sorry, Vicky, I just saw a note. I can ask you to unmute. Did that happen to work? I think it's also like *6. Is that what it is if you're calling in on a Zoom call to unmute?
Oh, I think she unmuted.
Oh. Vicky, we might be able to hear you. No.
I need to skip out.
Okay.
The only other thing I wanted to mention is, I'm working, with Rachel Stevader, I think is the way you pronounce her last name. We're gonna do some outreach events for some veggie berry producers, in early April, both for St. Albans and Morrisville. So hopefully I can obtain some of that information to get it to you guys to then announce it to producers, because we want presence from producers, because that is the main point. But more to come on that.
Sounds
Thank you,
great.
everybody.
When you want to discuss it,
Well, I'll talk to you later. I'll call you later.
Vicky, I think if you hit *6, excuse me, *6 on your phone, that might work.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Wonderful.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's still, the symbol still says that it's muted. It's very confusing.
Oh, no, we can hear you just fine though. So,
okay, great.
To your question, Linda, we will have a quorum if you need to hop off at 4:30.
What will, from what I understand, 2.8 is the COLA percentage. What will that increase the salaries to?
Yes.
As far as overall, yeah, overall.
If we were doing with a 2.8% COLA, the change is about $7,300 over the next 6 months.
Over 6 months.
Yes.
15.6 per year.
Yes.
14.6.
That's 7,300.
14.6.
14.6.
Something we can handle?
Yes. You're also welcome to go into executive session if you would like.
Well, we need to at this point. Does anybody else think we need to go to executive session?
I don't think so.
My suggestion is we go 2.8 on the COLA for the staff.
Seconding that. I'll second going 2.8 on the COLA.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Motion carried.
Is that retroactive to January 1st?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lauren's annual review.
Yeah, Linda or Vicky, I don't know if you guys want to talk through this. I'm happy to intro it. I'll intro it. I updated my job description and sent it to everyone to make it accurate. And it's accurate. I actually sent it to a couple other district managers and they're like, yep, that's what we have to do. So that was fun.
Quick question.
Yeah.
When we just approved the 2.8,
Yeah.
And the number you put up there, was your salary included in that number?
That is included if I'm also getting the 2.8, yes.
Okay, so actually, what we voted on includes you,
Yes.
because the number you gave us included you. I don't know if I have to redo another motion or just rephrase the first one, the staff and,
You could say the hourly staff, and that would exclude me if you want to reframe that.
but if we want to keep you at or use the 2.8 for your increase,
Then I don't need to change anything.
okay.
Got it.
Well, that
So
part-
as it stands, the whole staff, including me, got the 2.8.
Yes.
Correct.
Because the numbers you pulled up included your salary,
Yes.
your cost in there, okay,
Yes.
all right.
I actually would like to state for the record, though, that does not include Viva because she technically started on January 5th and we'd already negotiated her starting wage prior to this. So don't think it would make sense to retroactively go back and do that.
Mhm.
But it's kind of, I know, unfortunately backtracking. Mel, what do you think of that?
Of what?
At the 2.8 full increase on your salary?
Sounds great to me.
Okay. How about you, Lorena?
Very happy with
I
it.
should have asked you. All right.
Thank you.
So I'm glad we made the right decision.
Plus health insurance.
Yes. So I sent around what I do. I do think we should at some point adopt this as my actual job description. I'm happy to change how it's set up because right now it's very bullet pointy. But I did this because we were trying to figure out how to do my annual review for the year. And Vicki and Linda and I and Arena met and tried to come up with 4 different rotating evaluations. And so this first one is what the questionnaire that went out last year to all the staff. The second one mirrors what the current staff do with me each year. The third one's really open-ended. What am I doing well? How can I improve? What should I do to improve? And then the fourth one is a bit more detailed on open-ended questions around all of the different topics that I included in the job description.
So my
And so-
thoughts on
Yes.
this, sorry, anybody else want to chime in, feel free. My thoughts on this though are that since last year's was so kind of deep and required a lot from the staff, I think that it's good to change this up every once in a while so you don't start getting rote answers that are meaningless. So I'd say you go for the most streamlined version this year, especially because as a board, I haven't heard any inklings that we have concerns. And so you want to definitely give all your staff an avenue to express themselves, which I think the shortest one does. But I think you want to be very conscientious about changing it up every year, or you will start getting answers that are meaningless.
So I'm happy to do option 3 this year. Arena can send it out as a Google form to the whole staff to get feedback, and we can set a deadline before the next meeting so you can all get the staff feedback, and then we can do my actual review during the meeting, if that works for you all. See a lot of head nodding.
Yep.
Wonderful. We'll do that. That was easy.
Lauren,
One more question.
Yes. Oh,
should the board also rate you under those same criteria so that Arena could compile it all for us?
Yes.
So send out 2 surveys, one to staff and one to board.
Yes, Brenda will do that. Thank you, Vicky. And Linda, look like you might have another thing to say too.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I'm looking at the one that you sent, Vicky and I, after our conversation. You sent us like your very first pass at this. It really is just bullet points, but there's some red things that I assume are the new things that you put on that version. And I'm sure they're on this version that you just put up on the screen. But the question I have is, just remember the stories you've ever heard about really terrible district managers. And I wanted to make sure that, that we're not just thinking of you and your performance and whether this matches the way you do this job. Are these bullet points, is this job description the same as it would be for the next person in and the next one after that and the next one after that until the system changes and we do have new things? Like, let's make sure we're not being person specific when we create this, because this could save our what someday, if you've moved on and then we've got to evaluate somebody new.
Yeah, so everything in the first section in this team-wide performance metrics that is black is verbatim what the entire staff expectations are.
Okay.
Across the district.
Okay.
The red is related additional things that were from my original job description. I think they're mostly just descriptive. They're not necessarily higher.
Okay, got it.
Influence. With that being said, I did make the percentages of times that I'm doing the right things a bit higher than the rest of the staff. I think that if you onboard a new district manager, you would need to give them some time to get up to 95% accuracy.
Yeah, but this gives us, like, we wouldn't know. So this is good. Right. This gives us where the bar should be. So, and that's good that this board hears it and that somebody retains some institutional knowledge about this conversation.
Yeah, so just to explain those percentages too, we did set like entry level staff, I think, are closer, like 75% of the time things are right. If you are a senior level staff, it's closer, it's 10% higher. And then if you're the programs manager, it's still the senior level percentage, but there's more responsibility. Yeah. We did create those kind of like tiers.
So there was one when I read it, I marked it, and and you happen to have the page open to it right there. Stays within 15% of the allocated budget for all projects.
Yes.
So say on down the line, we weren't, let's see, we had somebody who consistently was not using rigorous intention when developing these budgets. Is 15% a good number? Is it just what we're doing now? Would 10% be something that would hold somebody else's feet to the fire? What is how?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think a smaller number would be better.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes. For full transparency, the new systems we have in QuickBooks will allow us to track this a lot better. So I think we'll be a lot closer to staying within the budget all the time.
I'd like to see that be 10%, even if it's hypothetical, and even if it's like building your house, like they say, add 25% to your best guess. At least on down the pike, if we had somebody with less rigorous intention than you, we could hold their feet to the fire with a number that is something we can work with. Because on $100,000 project, if that happened consistently and somebody was off by 15,000 or more over and over and over again, we could be in a hole.
Yeah, I completely agree. We'll change that to 10.
Yeah, I'd like to see that be 10.
Okay. And then there's this kind of section of specific to the district manager position. And so this is all stuff that is not across the rest of the team. This is stuff that just the district manager is doing, working with the board, strategic planning. This is kind of, other people are doing this too, I suppose. Partner relations, financial management, human resources management. And then I have this section So some districts don't have 10 staff. So the district manager does more project work. And so this is kind of like things that are required of a district that either the district manager could do or could assign to somebody else.
I did look at that little list too. And I know that this is all super hypothetical and we could cut you some slack if you don't take photos of key events. But when I looked at that particular one, it's like in the dentist office. The dentist should never, ever be sterilizing instruments or make, you don't have the dentist do jobs that you can find somebody with a lot less education to do that job, right? So I just didn't know how concrete we are on some of these, which look to me like somebody else's responsibility.
My argument would be to leave them in the off chance that in 10 years from now, all the funding's gone and you just have a district manager.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. I do think we could add some caveats of like, if anyone else is here, it shouldn't be the district manager.
Yes. Okay.
A lot of those things are actually part of my job.
Yes. Because they were my job. And that's why we hired you. Great. I don't think we need to accept anything. I think we just have a plan moving forward. So I think that's all set.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. I apologize. The agenda is not numbered correctly because it isn't. The ramp is actually the next piece of this conversation. We talked about ramp last time. It is a software and credit card tool that VACD is moving to. I know Friends of Northern Lake Champlain is moving to. It should help streamline some things and also remove. Sorry, lots of thoughts today. Ramp would basically allow every single person a credit card that I would still control when it's turned on and how much money is available and where the purchases are made from. They also have a built-in bank account that we could use that would pay 2% on any funds within it. Sorry. There's Ramp Core and there's Ramp Plus. Ramp Core is free and doesn't give you any cash back. Gives a bit less support. And then Ramp Plus gives you cash back on all the cards at 1.5%. More support.
But what does it cost?
Yes.
It also will take it out of Treasurer Vicky at this point personally.
Yes, it would remove. We could cancel our Chase credit card so that they wouldn't be under Vicky's name anymore. Vicky, to your question, dry throat. The Ramp Plus
$6,000, yeah.
Yes, would be that $67,000 for 1 year. I am
How much?
yes, $6,700.
Are you seeing with going to the Ramp Plus enough of a trade-off as far as the number of cashbacks would pay that and plus we gain above and beyond that?
So based on the conversation we actually just had about how many points we have in our Chase credit card at the same rate, that's about 1,300.
Yeah.
And that was for about a year. But if you go to Ramp, you can also use their bank account that gives you 2% on anything in their bank account.
Now this is Ramp Plus.
I've got it. It's just, here we are. You know, I'm actually not 100% sure. thought she had broken it down. I think with Ramp Core and Ramp Plus, you can use the bank account in both. I am not 100% sure if you get the 2%.
That part would have to be looked into more.
Yes.
Favorable to move to Ramp Plus or not.
Right.
I think it's favorable to go to Ramp.
The increment though is not huge, but it's some. We would make more money at 2%.
Yes. Will it cover the cost?
But you're spending.
them?
It's like 17. I just ballparked it.
Right.
It's about 17.
Right.
That's Lauren.
Yes, Vicky.
The thing I worry about if we were to transfer our funds, now you didn't say all or none, but I like the fact that we have a local bank that's got our back, particularly how they've handled us with potentially buying property. So I wouldn't be in favor of moving everything to the Ramp bank account.
Great.
So we need to consider that and how much we earn. You know, if we have $300,000 in the bank, what's that, $6,000? It might pay for itself, but then we lose that local connection. So I guess I just wanted to throw that out and see how everybody else is feeling about that.
Oh, agree. I agree with you, Vicky. I don't know about the rest of the board members, but we don't want to abandon that 70-year or plus relationship. And like you say, the possibilities of buying or purchasing some another office site or whatever, it's advantageous to keep our local bank.
Is this the only advantage, is that we get a credit card in NRCD's name and not using Vicky's risk?
That can happen with just doing the Ramp Core.
Yeah, we can do that with Ramp Core. We just don't get any cash back, but it doesn't cost us anything, which I think I would just like to say at a minimum, we ought to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to see it not in a personal Vicky's name.
There is also some functionality in Ramp that will allow staff to directly do their own mileage reimbursements, so it doesn't have to pass through me into QuickBooks. I still approve it. So there's that functionality. If we do use their bank account too, they'll write our checks for us and mail them. If we decide to do that, it's not a huge selling point for me.
Right. Your reimbursement checks.
If any, like, they would pay our vendors too. If I submitted the invoice to them, they would handle all of that.
I don't know how much work it is, because I don't know how many checks we use.
I would probably write 20 checks a month.
That's not 12 to 15 hours per month.
No.
Is it something we have to approve today, or is it something that's still being looked into?
The offer on the table, if we want to go with Ramp Plus, they did toss in a discount for 2 months that expires tomorrow. If we want to sit on it and go and not have that benefit later, that's fine too. It's really
How much was the
2
discount?
months.
How much was the discount?
Yes.
1,728.
No.
And does it really expire, or like credit card companies always
Oh.
have a promo? Is it just a different promo tomorrow that we don't know about?
You can always work on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's the
2
idea.
months, 2 free months approved by finance must be authorized by
So
January 30th.
6,700 divided by 12.
There's
$500.
So at this point, we could
$1,000.
go into Ramp Core. If we see it's at some point advantageous to go to Ramp Plus, we can do it later.
That's also my understanding.
Yeah, I would think that it wouldn't bother them to see us jump into their higher category.
Is this a software where you said that it would help project managers stay within the budget?
I think QuickBooks is going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you
By
kind of have
itself.
that tool already.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say it, just to make sure that if we're gonna have those expectations that we have the tool, but never mind.
this will allow for more than quarterly reimbursements, so to be like a little bit more up to date,
Okay,
but everything else is kind of fixed with the new QuickBooks system.
Okay.
Once I give you guys all reporting permission.
got it.
I don't, like in the second bullet where it talks about QuickBooks, it says overnight syncing of approved transactions. QuickBooks does that anyways.
Yes,
Like when you tell it to.
yes.
So I feel like some of their selling points are already
Covered.
covered.
What I'm hearing is let's go core,
Yes,
No cost.
no cost,
no cost.
I
no
agree.
cash back,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes.
Do we need a motion to, check or forward, our progression with getting into ramp?
Yes, can that motion also include if you want me to try to set up the bank account with them too, or if we just want to go through the credit card without the account for now?
Well, we want to keep
People's trust.
people's trust for sure. You know, we're thinking of a third of what we've got. What number exactly, but definitely gotta keep people's trust in the loop.
Do we use CDs at People's Trust?
We have.
Yes, we have in the past.
We didn't renew one because we almost bought a building,
Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted to,
and then I didn't, and then I haven't renewed it again because we are kind of like almost almost buying a building right now. So we didn't want to lock anything up.
but even then, it's not too serious. If there's a CD, you gotta cash it out a little early.
Right, you just lose the interest anyway. You don't like
Right.
lose your
And I
money.
forgot how much money we have, but is there something we can work at People's Trust to make a little more interest?
Yes, we certainly can. So I think what I would like the proposal to be, excuse me, is to start up Ramp Core without opening the Ramp bank account for now, and work towards closing the Chase credit card and moving towards just the Ramp for credit cards and reimbursements, and we can continue to evaluate the software as we evaluate it.
So that's.
I'll make that
informal.
proposal.
Thank you, Becky.
Do we have a second?
Lauren, I
I will
just would like to
second.
add that you need to take advantage of your cash back before you close the Chase card.
Yes, thank you. Good reminder.
Did Molly second?
I did.
All in favor of that proposal?
I
Aye.
I
Wait,
Linda still in?
I don't think so.
I think we have enough to.
Yeah, we have a quorum still.
Okay.
Is that Linda?
I'm here. I
Hi, great.
Okay,
There you go.
there you go.
I know we're all having so much fun.
We're putting it all in your account, Linda.
I'm keeping
That's what happens when you leave the table.
This is circling back to the operating reserves policy that we've tabled for a couple of months. At this point in time, it currently says that we are proposing to have the operating cost for 3 months. As discussed at previous meetings, that's about $7,500, nope, $75,000 a month. I just keep doing that. I'm just having so much fun with these numbers. And so for 3 months of 75,000, that's 225. I'm gonna circle back to the cash flow projection. So really this conversation is about, do we want to make it 225? Do we want to make it lower, knowing that we want to buy a building and have some money put in as down payment? That's really what this conversation is.
Okay. I think we should go to 2 months. As far as the reserve policy. And when and if we purchase, and when and if we go further, that could be up. That could be increased. I think we could start with 2 months.
So that would just be like about 150 that we would definitely leave in the bank. And it could always be
I can
more.
live with that. Lauren, do you have any concerns about that? Does it cut us too close during this winter months when we're in deficit mode?
I'm not worried about it. We'll be aggressive with our invoicing and following up too.
So do we hear a motion to, the operating reserve to be at 2 months? Okay,
I will move to change the operating reserve policy to reflect 2 months of.
do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Aye.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
We're just gonna keep doing policies. You're welcome to stay. If you want to not be here, that's also okay too.
We'll head out.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Mel.
If you could let me notice the staff on the change. Notice my neighbors on.
Oh.
That'd be helpful.
No, I won't. I wasn't.
I'm just saying it out loud.
That's not my business.
Buildings update. We had talked about a property last time. I did follow up the next day with our realtor. She got back to me about 3 weeks later that she had followed up that day, but never communicated it, that it was already under contract. I would like to propose that we retain a realtor to really assist us on this process, who is able to dedicate a decent amount of time to understanding us and our needs and being.
I would agree. It sounds like she's not very responsive.
Not your person.
No.
I don't know if she's
And I
ever.
have a suggestion that you could look into. Sean Cheney has a realty company, and he's a Swamp local, and he's been in the military. He's done how many years of our realty, and he handles quite a bit in Franklin County. So, and he's, I think he's more aggressive.
That works for me. If
I think
anybody
we
else-
talked about PJ. Is it,
Oh, yeah.
is it,
Paquette.
PJ, whatever his first name is?
I think you'd be better off with Carrie Paquette,
Carrie Paquette.
the former wife,
Kerry.
Keri.
Keri.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, you would do well with that.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
She's aggressive.
Yeah. And there's something to Carrie that's going to be, I think, more, I don't know. I think she's going to look at it the way we need somebody to look at it.
Right. If I was gonna sell my house, I'd have Carrie do it.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I'm
Yeah.
fine. I was just,
No, it's
Yeah.
not that this guy's
No,
not good.
I was
I don't
just-
know him. I just
I
know
don't
Carrie.
personally know him. I knew his father.
Oh.
Can I ask
And I know he's been around the area.
a
for many
question about this? So
quite a
How's
few
not,
years,
not
and he's young.
suggesting we relook at it, but
Yeah.
the for sale sign is still up
Oh, yeah.
front?
Oh,
But anyway,
It
Yeah,
has
she's in her
not,
50s.
it hasn't
Oh,
sold.
and they posted some pictures on
that's the
Facebook.
young.
Oh.
I wonder, I think it's, gonna be way too expensive for where our budget is, but have you heard any updates on that place?
I have not heard of it.
I don't know if it was relisted or not, but
Okay.
This
How'd you
is
spell her
Miss
first
yeah.
Keri, and it's Paquette.
Age.
I will make moves to connect with Carrie. And maybe have her come to a board meeting or something, or
That's nice,
understand what we're thinking here.
right? What we're thinking, what we'd like to possibly find,
Yeah.
and that property we just got kind of beat out of was pretty close to what we wanted. and
Yeah.
we progressed even further years from now, but anyway,
We'll find something.
we'll find
Yeah.
something, right?
I think, and I shared this with Richard, I didn't have that cash flow projection till this month. And I think that that's a really useful tool that I should have had before, and now we have it, and we'll use it. Great.
And with us not tying everything up, we've got some funds available that we could tell the realtor, hey, we could put 100,000 down on this. And sometimes that helps the situation as far as progressing into reality, as opposed to, no, we gotta talk to the bank, see how much we can get financed.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have to finance somebody. We go in there with a chunk, it helps.
Have we talked to the bank yet?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
I'm happy to give you some
Okay.
information on that too. it's favorable.
All right,
Good, yeah.
building update, tuition reimbursement.
Yes, so we finally used the tuition reimbursement policy with Arena, which was great, and some things just kind of rose to the top that we just need to reapprove. And so, as it currently stands, I just wanted to make clear to staff that reimbursed funds are considered income and therefore taxable. That was not explicitly in here before, and that is true. And then you all had discussed making it a minimum of a B, not a C. So there's an update here. And then I just aligned the expectation to stay full-time. In our employee handbook is 35 hours a week. This had 32. This was out of date, so it's now 35. But also making clear that PTO hours can be used to hit 35 because that's always been the standard.
What's PTO?
Paid time off, vacation time.
Okay.
And those are really the only changes.
There's a lot of acronyms.
Parent teacher organization.
Those are the only changes to this document. But then as a sister document, I created from a template online an actual agreement because I realized didn't have one of those where the district and the employee with the policy agree that they will not leave within the year, which is in alignment with the policy. And if they do, they have to pay X, Y, and Z back. I don't know that this would stand up in court,
It won't.
but it's more than nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
They're the same thing at the hospital.
okay.
You know, it's hard to put them in jail. They don't pay it back.
But it's just a bit more formal. It says the exact same content as the policy. It's just a written document that feels a little bit more official.
I actually had a question about that. Would the employee have to pay back the total amount or the post-tax amount?
The total amount.
So you could like double lose money.
Yeah.
So that gives
That's
you
even
the
better
incentive.
incentive.
Oh, yeah.
Because
But bees aren't that hard to get these days. A little studying, a little.
Well, I got a tendency to.
so I think if they don't get the B, they don't get the reimbursement to begin with.
Right.
If they get the B and they leave within the year, or like we fire them within
Right.
the year, then they would have to pay back the whole amount.
So that course you took, how'd they go?
Got an A.
Good.
And a good paper out of it too.
Yay. You're not quitting, are you? Tester policy.
She never signed this, so what's done is done.
Forget it then.
See you in court.
Yeah. So
Careful, we got rednecks up here.
my ask at this point in time, if there isn't further discussion, is to approve the changes to the reimbursement policy and then add on as a sister document to this tuition reimbursement obligation agreement language that will be executed when someone takes advantage of the policy.
So do I hear a motion to pursue this reimbursement policy changes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
It's the match.
Linda? Do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Molly will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Should I ask any further discussion?
We're kind of not doing Robert's rules exactly anyway. I think
That
it's
would be
fine.
Richard's rules.
Because I did have a question. Is
Yeah.
there a sentence in here that says how many classes I can take within a year? Like, are they,
So it says that there's a limit of $2,500
Okay,
per
it does say
calendar
that.
year per employee.
Yeah.
So, but not necessarily how many classes.
right, right,
But that's probably just one.
but that's depending where you take it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one UVM class.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably 4 CCD classes though.
Sure.
All right, moving on.
Employee handbook. Guys, I know, trust me, I did not have any fun writing this agenda either.
You already did the procurement. policy.
Procurement policy draft.
I skipped. Procurement policy, so I had, we're not gonna adopt this today either, but we talked about updating procurement policy to reflect federal and non-federal funds and the different rules that they're in. I had drafted this first section, and then I went on the Vermont League of Cities and Towns website, and they have a template for municipalities. And so really my question is, would you like me to shift into the VLCT template and then we can talk about it at the next meeting, or do you want to stick with the edits I made to our own policy?
Yeah, if you looked at this,
The VLCT policy.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
pretty similar. What do you think? You're gonna be the one working with it. Or around it.
I think what I would like to do is go with the VLCT template, but I do think there's a couple things in there that I think we should change and have a discussion about, but I'm happy to use this template and highlight those things for the next meeting.
Let's use that template, do your changes and bring it back. And see
What do other conservation districts do?
What a great question you have, Julie.
why, we don't have to conform with them.
Every district does their own thing.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
carry on.
VACD, I did ask them about the VLCT versions and they said it's a good tool. You're not required to use them. VLCT will also say that these would not necessarily definitely hold up in court either.
There's not a best practice out there. That's, I didn't know if
Yeah.
there was, okay.
No one's
No,
doing it
that's
better
fine.
than us, I think is what I want to say.
They'll copy us.
Everybody else that has a much smaller staff, they don't have the time and resources to refine their policies and be as
Which you would never have.
badass as you guys.
Great.
All right.
Okay, so I'll work on that for
Yeah,
next
and
meeting.
then we'll come back and then meeting.
I don't need an approval.
Employee handbook updates.
We have new logos and update the logo. And then there was just a couple sections of updates too. Sorry for the folks trying to follow me. This we may or may not want to adjust. So I spent a lot of time on the VLCT website and turns out there is a municipal ethics training. I did ask VACD about it, and there was not a strong opinion that we definitely, bye Linda.
See you, Linda. You look like a child of the corn there.
At this time, we are not required to follow the municipal ethics laws because the state has not officially agreed that we are municipalities at this time. But I don't think it's a bad idea to do the trainings and follow their process. So there's some additional information about an annual training, or sorry, every 3 years. And then there's some flow charts about, do I have a conflict of interest? And so it's a bit clearer than we've ever been about when there's a conflict of interest. So there's that section. And then
I'm in favor of having this in our policy, both for supervisors and employees.
excellent. And then I also included verbatim the suggested whistleblower protection from Vermont League of Cities and Towns, which we had not had before. I think it would just protect us. And then I also updated a couple of small things.
And that statement on the General Assembly was all from the VLCT?
Yes. And then I am proposing a change to comp time. Because of how QuickBooks is tracking comp time versus how we were doing it in spreadsheets, this is just like updating how it actually works. It's still the same value. Because we're a municipality, a government entity, we do get to have comp time instead of paid out overtime. It's still at the 1.5 times rate though. This now makes it that the employee needs to use their comp time within the next 2-week pay period. which was not a requirement before, and that is to make billing through QuickBooks easier. I have talked this through the staff. Everybody understands the need for it, so this is just formalizing it. I think that's all of the real edits. Oh, that's a lie. Medical insurance. I also updated the medical insurance section because it changed. And now reflects what we're doing. And we're no longer using NRCS vehicles. So I updated the mileage reimbursement policy to reflect that they need to use our truck or their own vehicle. And that's it. They're just logistical updates. Anyone would like to approve that?
Yes. I will approve I move to approve the employee handbook updates.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Vicky.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Motion carried.
Yeah.
Good job, Lauren. That's a lot of work.
Thanks, Vicky.
Trying to make my eyes spin.
It wasn't fun.
Especially
I did do it
the,
over Christmas
especially the
break.
comp time stuff. I was like, I don't understand this. But anyway.
I've been doing a lot of math lately. To that point, I didn't take a ton of time off over the holidays. But given that, I still am planning to get to a point where there's no need to pay out anything at the end of the year. I'm still planning to be under the 200 hours that are allowed to roll over into future years. So I'm still on track for PTO spend down. I'm very excited to have these new systems that will allow more people to do the things I'm doing because they make sense and don't just live in my head, which is great. And Mel and Arena are both going to be pretty heavily involved in this stuff.
So since you got an A in that course, you know, that's.
It was a theory course, so not super applicable, but.
Great. And then we've got some fun events coming up. Myself, Kate, Maria, and Dorothy will be presenting at the NOFA Winter Conference.
Where's that gonna be?
It's actually at St. Mike's this year for the first time.
That's nice.
Yes, I think it's cheaper than UVM. And we're presenting a lot on the ag guide and how to find grant funding for your farm and on the locally led process. So it's called Grant Funding for Your Farm and How to Influence It. And we did a similar presentation
That's
last year.
awesome, Lauren.
Isn't that good?
It's awesome.
Yeah. We're also going to be talking about the app that we are beginning to plan for the ag guide, which is what the meeting was when you guys were walking in. We are having a community water quality meeting on February 25th that actually would love everybody to come to.
Where is this at?
This is going to be at the St. Albans Museum in the Bliss Room,
Oh,
so the top
museum.
floor.
Yep.
The
You'll be
timing.
sending out emails to,
RSVP.
yeah,
Yes.
or to bring it back into our,
Will it be
Yes.
Zoomable, Lauren?
Yes. It will be.
remind us.
What
that's
time
what
is
we're
it again?
looking for.
5:30.
Oh, it's in the evening.
And Dorothy
Yeah.
is
Wednesday.
catering.
And Dorothy is the best cook on the team.
Yes.
Oh.
But you'll
definitely
send
have to check
something
that
out.
out.
5:30 on the
Okay.
25th?
Yes. And we have been working diligently to try to have updates related to phosphorus based on various models and measurements, as well as we've been doing a full inventory of all the projects we've ever done. And we're going to show them on a map and have phosphorus estimates associated with them and show what the impact the district has had on water quality everywhere.
Is this?
Oh,
you
that's
guys
awesome.
are hosting this, or is it outside?
We're hosting it. At this point in time, Friends of Northern Lake Champlain and the Northwest Regional Planning Commission are also gonna be speakers.
And Sarah Lund, so.
And MRVA. Those with partners too, but we're the main event.
I was saving it in my phone. Where is it actually?
It's at the St. Albans Museum
Oh, I said that.
That's
before,
okay.
haven't
Upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Trying to get the AP Environmental Science teacher to tell the kids to come.
That'd be awesome.
It's vacation. So
Mhm.
that's the bummer.
Well, then they'll have plenty of time. They won't have any homework.
Yeah, they also want to be gone.
Yeah. I do think we are also gonna record it, which I know is not the same thing. But
Right. Trying to
Um,
rip some kids into it.
yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And then also just wanted to flag, I think I mentioned it before, July 13th during the day is when we're doing our board retreat. It's a Monday, but then that night we're having an 80th birthday party for the district.
Well, what time is that at and where?
We don't have the location nailed down just yet.
We're hoping for the Fairfield Community Center. You know, like the pizza oven there.
Mhm.
Where
That's
the
community
jig on the
center,
green.
pizza oven?
Really?
They have,
They have a pizza oven.
Yeah,
Oh,
if they let us use it. And then Dorothy would do more cooking, which would be awesome.
Well, you'll put that update out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still,
Closer
you know,
to the
many
date.
months. away.
Yes. But hopefully everybody has the full day of July 13th on their calendar because we booked that a year ago or 6 months ago.
So what time are you thinking of the party part?
I think the party's planning to start around 5.
But you're gonna have something going on all day, right?
Yeah,
You are too.
you are too. You gotta be there all day with
Wow.
us. We're doing a board retreat. And you're on the board, boss. In case you didn't know.
You were there, we decided.
What's this we stuff? And then I can find out afterwards.
You were there.
It was in the summer, we
We
decided.
decided like literally on like June 14th of last year. We booked June 13th of next year.
July.
July,
Yes, July.
see? I was gonna be there and you weren't there.
Cute idea.
So-
80th anniversary gift, according to Google, is oak. You know, like 50th is gold, 80th is oak. So
I love
Wow.
that.
That's a good
how
connection.
fitting
I
Yes,
love
yeah.
that.
if you're doing a logo.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that would be really
So
cute.
this starts at what? Well, you'll be sending that information out.
6 a.m.
Yeah, that's,
We'll be at a
We're
building
gonna
around
go
your
down
house.
yeah, you guys are doing. I'm not.
It's actually a fun idea. We
Get
should
your
ask them
motorboat.
more.
Guys,
Oh my God, it was, we
No.
did that for the science, but we have a whole 8 mostly floatable canoes.
Good to know.
Well, those are the ones that, remember Kate and I went on the
The Black Creek.
flooded Black Creek?
Yeah.
Oh, that was dangerous.
That was
With my
dangerous. I remember
2-year-old.
that.
Borrow the ones from Enosburg.
Yeah. We also might make you do work that day, for the record.
Well, let's progress
Plants
and schedule another meeting, and if you want to discuss this a little bit more off after the meeting.
Yeah, I do just want to also flag, these aren't necessarily dates, but we did kind of talk about them a little bit. We are offering free forestry visits to talk about forestry and water quality, wildlife habitat assessments that Mel discussed, and also maple production site visits. So if you know anybody who's a maple producer, they can get a free visit from us and
Nice.
some resources. We're also going to be at the Maple Festival this year, tabling at one of the distributors. That'll be fun. All right, next meeting. February 24th or March 11th and 12th. I'm taking a week and a half off, which is why there's a gap in there. Going to where it is warm and
I
I can,
prefer March 11th and 12th.
and you said you can't make it the 12th,
Correct.
so maybe it's the 11th.
Do have a full time DHCD listening session, but I think that's flexible.
They're probably in the evening too.
You said 3 to 7.
Did we?
Wednesday.
But that's long. It's a long
That's
time.
March
time, so-
11th, Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a Wednesday. We can also look further out.
Does that not work for Molly?
The 11th works for Molly, but I'm getting some other size in the room. A different day would be better.
I usually have my Champ Challenge meetings on that second Wednesday.
Okay.
To raise money for the hospital, that's all.
Let's can also do a Friday night. I can do the 13th if that's better. Can't
I
do
haven't been
Greenwich.
socialized,
Work
so
for
I'm-
me.
What about the 18th?
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're not all hungover.
Oh, yes.
I'll
18th?
be here.
Great. 18th at 3 here.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And-
Patrick's Day.
Hopefully it'll be a less
French.
boring conversation. I do imagine between now and then, I'll send out some information on building stuff, and so there might be a couple, maybe some places to see before then.
So we're looking at 18th now.
March 18th, yes, at 3.
There are lights in Ireland that the red is on the bottom. The green is on top.
Oh,
Wait, and when was it in February?
So we're
We're
not
just not
we're
doing-
not having a
okay,
February
cool,
meeting.
cool.
Yeah,
Because there was that question of the 24th. and I
Right.
can't do that, so
Yeah.
cool. That works for me.
so we're just gonna skip the February meeting.
It's a short month. It's
Yeah, doesn't need a day. I really need to take a week and a half off.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Charlotte and Savannah and Charleston.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
since we're getting into this type of discussion, do I hear a call for adjournment?
I'll make a
to
move to
adjourn the
adjourn,
meeting.
motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a
And
first and second, Vicky and Molly, all in favor?
I.
Aye, okay. let's go for
Aye.
everyone.